Women podcast. Happy Wednesday, May 1st. I'm Shelbie, your host, and I'm joined with Christine Smith of Grön, not Grown, Grön Edibles. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Yay. By the way, today's episode is brought to you by RMR Legacy Smalls pre-rolls, available in California, Washington, Arizona, New York, more to come. So check them out at your local delivery service and dispensary. But today we're talking about Grön Edibles from Portland, Oregon, and she has expanded into many other states. Christine met me at MJ BizCon in Vegas, and she gave me some edibles, and I was really excited to try them. They're really good. They're vegan, maybe frozen. So we're gonna just get to know her better and get to know the evolution of Grön and all the exciting things. So Christine, what is your family's stance on cannabis? Where did you grow up, and when did you first try cannabis?
Okay, well, I'm probably an outlier for those people that have been in the industry for a long time, but I grew up in Texas. So I am now 50 years old, which dates me because growing up in Texas, cannabis was not a part of my life. It just really wasn't back in when I was young. So I didn't actually physically touch a cannabis plant or really see one in person until I was 38 years old. So my time with cannabis has really been in the last decade of my life since I've been 40. So I can say that when I first got into the industry, my Texas family, my parents and extended family, was a little shocked. And what has been amazing over the course of the last decade is how supportive and how transformative cannabis has been to their lives, and it's been really inspiring for me to watch and for me to help look at ways that we're able to inspire future consumers into the market. When I say future consumers, I say new consumers that are not currently using cannabis. And so I think there's just a ton of interest from people that are looking for aids to sleep or anxiety or different health concerns. And cannabis is such a great use for that. And a lot of folks just don't consider it because there's still such a stigma associated with cannabis, particularly in these conservative states that haven't taken it. And that is changing drastically. And with the news yesterday that just came out about rescheduling from the DEA, which is fantastic. But I think really that's been a huge role at this company, and I have played and will continue to play as really bridging the gap with the future consumer.
So you're 38. What prompted your first trying cannabis, and what was that like? What did you do? Was it smoking? Did you eat an edible? Like, did you need it for any certain thing? Were you just trying to try it?
You want to know the truth is that I was a young divorced mother, and I was looking for a part-time gig, and I started growing it in my basement. So Portland, Oregon, this is in the medical days. It was quasi-legal. I looked at this really as a business to get into before I did as an alternative for something that I would particularly enjoy. But I'm not a smoker, so I did try it. I have tried everything with cannabis. I've dabbed and not been able to get off a couch for 3 days. I did not enjoy that experience. I'm not an inhaler. And that's really when I created this company, it was how can I create something? And this was early medical days, when everything was a Cheeto-induced, heavy-hitting high, and there is a real use for that. But for new consumers, and I think for a lot of people that are low-dose users, there wasn't a lot in the market then, and so I really saw a niche for that, and that's where I started when I really created the first chocolate bar. But back when I started, 10 years ago, the industry was really forgiving. So I was making butter and brownies and cookies, and there wasn't really a lot of different, there was certainly nothing like there is now on the market, but it was a lot of baked goods and those pieces. And, RSO was what I used when I first started making these products many years ago. And that was as advanced as, as it got. So it's been such a joy to watch the transition and evolution of this industry.
Where did you come up with the name Grön?
Grön means green in Swedish, and you're doing an excellent job pronouncing it. That's probably one of the questions we get asked the most is how do you say it and what does it mean? So my background, my prior life, BC, right before cannabis, um, was as an architect. So I practiced,
Cool.
went to architecture school in Texas, and then came out west and practiced architecture for 16 years, and then transitioned into cannabis. And I studied architecture over in Scandinavia, and green means green in Swedish, which really exemplifies so much of what this company stands for, just for cannabis, for sustainability, for, I think, just the plant itself. And yeah, it's the story behind how I created it. I did it myself. I didn't use an agency or come up with, there wasn't a lot of money spent developing that. I started this thinking it would be just a chocolate company. And when I started researching chocolate companies, you see a lot of chocolate companies with names, European names that are hard to pronounce. Ghirardelli or Lent, or even more so. And so there was a little bit of an intent there. How do you make something that's a little elusive and maybe it's a little bit hard to say? But that's really where it came from. And now it's evolved into we're more or less a candy company, but a gummy company more so than a chocolate company.
And I'm sure you play with it when people mispronounce it, because it even works, grown. Like, you want to say grown when you look at it.
Yeah.
But I think like you probably use the word grown a lot because you guys are growing into different markets and states in your products. So I think that's funny.
Yeah, we do.
Okay. So what is the mission of Grown once again?
Yeah. So, I love that question. And, our mission, our holistic mission is to elevate lives through caringly crafted edible experiences. And that is something that we holistically stand behind. And it's not just to make great edibles. It's not just to win, but it's to elevate lives through experiences that are carefully curated. And our products do that. Through these targeted effects and these ratios, and it's to help make your life. Really, we're here to improve the world, but that just sounds, so ambiguous to say we're out to make the world a better place. We are here to elevate lives, and we're going to do it through our products by delivering really targeted, beautiful experiences.
That's beautiful. And yes, I've tried the pearls, and it's true. Even like you get this cute little box, and you open it, and then there's this canister, like the M&M's minis, kind of that container.
Yeah.
So it's just fun, and you have like the whole like story on the packaging. It's so cute. So
Thank you.
You're doing a great job with that. Can you share? No. What is the product line and your best sellers? Go over what Grön offers.
Yeah. So initially, when I say we were just a chocolate company, that was early on, and the company started in Oregon, really back in 2015, and we've expanded both with our product line and across our state expansions. And so we probably 70% of what we're selling now is through our gummy line, and our gummy line consists of the sugar coated pearls, which are, I say sugar coated. It's a gummy that's coated, in sugar versus being an oil finish. And those are small, round, beautiful balls that are shaped like a pearl, 10 in a pack. And I think we now have 9. We just released our 9th flavor in the pearls. And then in addition to the pearls, we do a mega version, a mega pearl, which is a high dose version, which is one giant gumball, which is, they're really popular. And that's called a mega. And I believe we have, yeah, I can't even say. I think there's either 8 or 9, maybe there's 10 versions of the megas. And then we have 6 different chocolate bars, and 4 different offerings in our pips, which are basically like M&Ms.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what came first? Was it the chocolate bar?
First it was the chocolate, and then it was the pearls. Pearls came online in 2018, 19, something like that was when we first got into gummy. So for a good portion of this company's, existence early on, it was just chocolate. And that was really when we were just an Oregon company. We expanded out of Oregon. Yes, the pearls came online in 2019. 2020, we expanded into Nevada. And 2000, right about when COVID hit, I think actually 2 weeks before COVID hit, which is interesting. 2021, in 2020, we also brought out the mega. That was the mega. And what's interesting is the Mega came on board in Oregon, and Samuel Sung, who was just brilliant at the time, was our director of sales. He's now our chief revenue officer. Is the one that came to me and said, Christine, we are missing an audience out there. There is a product that is not, or a consumer that's not being served right now, and it's this high dose consumer that is looking for an add-on, and it's a value priced product. And I really didn't believe that it wouldn't undercut our pearls, but he was 100% right. And we didn't lose customers by creating that product from our pearls. We actually raised the entire sector, which is great, and created a market for a high dose product. So that came out 2020, and then in 2021 we introduced the Pips, which are the M&Ms.
I can't wait to try those. And let's talk about the Tangelo, what you just launched.
Yeah. So Tangelo is our most recent pearl offering well, that's not true. We actually I think tomorrow, is today the 1st? Today's the 1st. Okay, you get to hear there's a launch happening today in multiple states that I can tell you about. But Tangelo just released a couple of months ago. Tangelo is just a fantastic product. We're seeing tremendous results. Everybody loves it. It's a super sativa. So it's a CBC, CBG, THC product blend, and it is a good time. That's the product you want to take to a concert. You want to go to a ball game. You're looking for a really good time. It's probably not the product you want to take to go to sleep, but it is a fantastic product. And the flavor profile is spot on. Citrus flavors are really the rat right now, which is fun. I'll let you in that I believe today is the launch day across all our markets for another new product that we're coming out with, which is the opposite of Tangelo. And that's it's a cherry sleep product. And it is actually a low dose THC, but super high dose CBN. So we have a 1:1:1 CBN product, which is our best selling ratio that we've ever made. And I'm really curious, this is a personal drive by me, to introduce a product that is a sleep aid that is low THC. So we're able to hit a targeted market for these. Again, I go back to these new consumers that are looking to come into the market that are not really wanting to feel high, but are wanting to sleep. So it's 2.5 milligrams of THC in a gummy and 25 milligrams of CBN. So it is a 10-to-1 as a heavy hitter. I adore the product. I think it might be one of the best products we've ever made. Fantastic. So that'll be on markets. It's this week and so everybody should look for that and try it.
Cherry, what's the ratio?
It's a 10-to-1.
Cherry 10-to-1. Okay,
yes,
check it out, everyone.
Yeah.
And Tangelo, and I saw you mention that your 1:1:1 sleepy time has been the best seller in most states, but not Nevada. Nevada they love the uplifting.
They love the uplift, which makes sense, right? Who wants to go to Vegas and sleep? So
right.
Yeah. So yeah.
So Tangelo will probably do well there as well.
Tangelo and our blueberry lemonade. Yes.
Awesome. Looks like excited to try them. I love the edibles. I had the blackberry lemonade pearls in addition to a piece of the, what is it, vanilla sea salt?
Yeah.
Dark chocolate bar right before bed, and I had a great sleep, and then I woke up feeling refreshed, woke up right on time, not like I really wanted to stay in bed. Like I felt great when I woke up. So
good.
Hey, I'm excited to try more ratios. Can you share some of your favorite moments in the industry that you've had so far?
Gosh, there's so many. I mean, I have to say, I mean, being part of the transformation and the growth of this industry outside of my children is the most inspiring and impactful thing in my whole life. It's just been really, really incredible to be part of. And, it's interesting because we're moving so fast and monumental things happen so fast that I don't even think we really have time to absorb it. Yesterday being one of them, right? The announcement of deschedule or rescheduling from Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3. That is monumental movement for this industry, and regardless of exactly what that does to the market itself in the short term, which I don't think is going to be a lot of change today or tomorrow. In the long term, this is a huge movement, and it's really great for the industry to get the recognition that it deserves, that this really has a health benefit and is not on par with heroin. And I think we all see it, but we don't even have time to appreciate it because we have to go on and keep going and moving forward. And I look back on moments. Opening the New York market was just, we were there a few weeks ago, and being able to celebrate that moment with my team was really, really special. To make it to the East Coast, we really believe in the New York market and what's happening on the East Coast. So it's, coming from the West Coast and being able to embrace the East Coast has been really special.
That's awesome. And I just want to mention that you catered a certain someone's baby shower, I heard.
I see. I even forgot about, yes, I was at Kim Kardashian's house. Yes, we did. We catered Kim Kardashian's fourth baby shower back in 2018. See, cool. I see what I say. There's so many moments you don't even remember.
Yeah, they just fly. Well, here's so many more in the future. I know you're going to be doing really incredible, cool stuff. What has been some challenges that you've faced along the way, if any?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many challenges, so many stumbles and bruises and scraped knees along the way, and we just kind of keep getting up and running and getting better. I mean, it's some of the challenging things for us, I would say, are self-imposed. So early on, this company, we did not take on investment early on. So a lot of companies of like ours, when I go back to 2017, for example, there was so much money floating around, and you didn't even have to ask for money. People were throwing money at you. And I made really the decisive decision that we were not going to go that route, and we were going to stay lean and humble and just reinvest everything. And at the time, that there were lots of times when I didn't think that was the right decision, but we had made up our mind and we kept going. I look back on it now, and that's been a tremendous contributor to our success. So we're a debt-free company that has continued to just move forward, and it's allowed the company and myself the ability to pivot quickly and to stay really lean. So some of the challenges that we specifically have faced are, how do we grow this without money, right? How do we do this? And, I use the analogy, we grew up poor. Growing up as a company in Oregon, if you come out of the Oregon market, and I'd say there's some really strong companies that have, I think Aaron and Wild and what they've done has been, just equally just really fantastic. And they have a similar model where they've just run really lean and gone out, and it's an operator model. But trying to manage this across multiple states from a logistics standpoint is just really, really challenging. And our model of operating in every state means, we've got 250 employees in 7 different states that we're constantly shipping things through and running these facilities ourselves. And the logistics, the challenges of every time we throw another ball, another state, we're juggling more balls that make it exponentially more challenging. And how do we do this without a lot of capital? That is the $1 million question, literally the $1 million question.
Yeah. Well, you've done a great job. It's crazy. Yeah, you have to start from scratch in every single state that you're in, and you're a mother as well. So you have to balance your home life and work life, and I'm sure it's really just fun all the way because you're making products that help everybody.
Yeah.
How do you plan to maintain this momentum in an industry that's constantly evolving?
We're not maintaining, girl. We're growing.
Yeah.
The momentum keeps growing. Yeah. No, it's, my job, I look at my job here. And again, when you mentioned being a mother, this company is another child to me. And it's just, and I look at a lot of people, brands are, and I use this analogy, brands are really fun to make. It's like having children. That's the easy part. Growing them into mature adults is really hard, and it takes a long time. And a brand is no different. And it's the evolution the brand over time as it grows and matures and goes from a baby to a toddler to an elementary school, through high school and an adolescence and matures. And we're somewhere, I think, right now, and as an awkward teenager. And it's putting the right people in the right place from our leader and our leadership team, and then getting out of their way and letting them really lead. And that is, I think, I like to believe that is kind of emblematic of female leadership, with the way females lead versus the dictator mode. It's much more communal, and I think that's been a huge contributor to our success and how we're continuing to grow, is by growing the leadership team that's going to be able to do this. This is not me. It's the right people that are committed to our values, that are committed to what we're doing and making exceptional products. And, I just think people respond to that. And it's just been really fun, but it's a lot of work. And that's how we're going to do it. We're just going to keep knocking down states.
Yeah. So when you started this company, you said you were coming out of a divorce, you were already a mother. But that can give a lot of hope to a woman who is a new mom or something. What advice would you give to other women looking to break into the industry?
People ask me that a lot, and I believe in yourself. I think it's really easy for women in particular to doubt themselves, or to doubt that they're able to do something on their own. And I think we're much stronger and we're much more adept than we give ourselves credit for. So if you have an idea, don't be afraid to believe in it and go for it. And for whatever reason, I find that men are they're much more bullish about just going towards things. They also often have more access to friends with money that are able to support them. And so it's just surround yourself with and I say this again, there are women in this industry that want to help other women, myself included. And it's, while it may seem intimidating to ask, don't be afraid to ask for help. And don't give up on your dreams. Believe in it. If you see a niche for something and there's a hole in the market, go for it.
Thank you. So, yeah, we had the news yesterday about possibly rescheduling. What are your thoughts on the future of legalization and the regulations at state and federal levels? And how do you see your company adapting to the shifts?
Yeah, great question. I'm not sure that the answer I give you today may change tomorrow or next week where things are. I think this is, as I said earlier, this is monumental moment for the industry. I think this is a step in the right direction. And I think the credibility that is provided to the industry by the DEA recognizing this is probably the most impactful thing. I hope that we're going to possibly see some opportunity for safe banking and for capital to come in the market, more traditional capital forms. And I think that probably that's going to be the biggest thing we're going to see with this. This does not make cannabis legal in all the states. This does not change that, but it does pave the way for legalization in the future down the line. It provides the opportunity for financing. Who knows? This may provide the opportunity, we'll see, for credit cards to be accepted into retailers, for consumers, right? Like that's where consumers might actually see it, or they're able to go into retail stores and use a credit card. Or, like those are the aspects I think we might see. We don't really know where that's going to come. Schedule 3 drugs are by definition allowed to be prescribed by a doctor, accessible. So that potentially, depending on where the regulation goes, could possibly open something up where there is, and again, that's federal, right? So that could possibly open up something, we don't know, for products like ours to be able to be prescribed by a doctor and then potentially shipped across state lines. We don't know, but I think there's a lot of opportunity down the line, and we'll see. More than anything, I think there's a lot of hope, and I think there's a lot of just celebration and relief from the industry that there is an end in sight. I think we've all been hoping and wanting this for years and years, maybe 4 or 5 years, and it's just nothing has ever happened. So to have something just, you wake up yesterday and it's like there was movement. it's kind of like a pinch me moment. Yeah.
A little more legitimately,
Yeah.
legitimately, possibly. And older people, I know they want to try CBD and they want to try certain things, but they're afraid because they're on other medications, and then they're afraid to discuss it with their doctor. So maybe I can open it up, take away the fear and the stigma, more, all these little steps. That's what I'm excited about.
Yeah, and more, this as you mentioned that too, this gives more, it opens far more doors for continued studies by hospitals and doctors and success on and the what I think we failed, the government failed really poorly on CBD with the way they legislated that with the farm bill, and they left it so open-ended where there was not really any legislation on it, any regulation on it, not legislation, regulation. And so we had that's where you got all of the Delta, all of this Delta 8, all this kind of mixed bag of stuff that says it's CBD, and there's a lot of confusion. And I tell people this all the time, going through the regulated cannabis market, these are the most regulated products on the market, heavily tested, verified test results. These products are solid and good. You have a much better shot at getting a product that is going to work and that you can follow it with the products on the regulated THC cannabis market than you do on the open CBD market. So, I'm very hopeful that going forward, we're able to maintain the integrity of the industry.
FDA approves. No,
there you go.
In the future. Well, back to Grön products. What products do you personally enjoy the most, are your favorite, and do you have any recommendations for those looking to indulge in Grön's goodies?
Yeah. Okay. So again, right now I am completely obsessed with the new 10-to-1, the tart cherry pearl. I just think it's just so great. I mean, I'm a anxious person. My brain runs hot. My hamster wheel is always on fire. I take 2 of those at night. So that's 5 milligrams and 50 milligrams of CBN, and I sleep like a baby. And in a way that I have never really experienced before, and I just am such a big fan of it. And I'm really excited to see how consumers respond to it. And I'm really curious too to see if the market is at a place where, it's a real trial for us to see, if the retailers, if my excitement, if the brand's excitement about this product is able to be processed through the retailers or the bud tenders into consumers that are coming in to buy. So this is not a high dose. We see a real trend with high dose products right now in all the markets with, when I say high dose, like 100 milligram, even more. So in Missouri right now, we just launched 300 and 1,000 milligrams. So we have our megas, which are gumball size, we're selling, we just launched a 10-pack of those. So you can get, it's like the Costco, a half-pound bag of megas, 1,000 milligrams of megas. So, and where they're selling like gangbusters. So it's, it's like a bestseller. And that is one consumer that I think is definitely there. Then there's an entire other consumer that is low dose that I'm looking at for the future. So long story short, I'm really, really hot on the 10-to-1. For those folks that are heavy users, high dose users, the mega is definitely something that you got to give a shot. Everybody loves them. Everybody that's a high dose user loves them. It's, there's no shortcuts on the ingredients. It is our pearl recipe. We just packed the value into a heavier dose, heavy hitter product. So definitely get out there and try a mega if you're a low dose looking for great sleep, or 1-to-1-to-1, or the 10-to-1. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, they're amazing. So what cannabinoid do you gravitate to more? Is it CBN?
Yeah. For me, it's CBN. But I'm a middle-aged 50-year-old woman that doesn't sleep well at night, and I think that's a real common problem for middle-aged people. Is it staying asleep? The witching hour when you wake up between 2 and 4 in the morning, and these products really, really help with that. Just really help. My mother is a strong believer. She switched from taking an Ambien, at night to being able to eat a piece of chocolate at night. And that's, we're talking about a 75-year-old woman that in her lifetime would never, ever, ever smoke a joint or be near a cannabis product. But the beautiful thing about, and I say this, like our products are a gateway into cannabis for so many people because they don't even have to think of themselves as trying cannabis. They're just trying a sleep aid, right? Eat the sleep gummy, and they try it and they're like, oh, wow, that's cannabis. And they're like, oh, well, maybe I could try this, or maybe I can smoke a joint, or it just opens the door to something that kind of destigmatizes it and brings it back. It kind of separates it, which I love that.
Do you have a favorite outlet for those to educate themselves on the minor cannabinoids?
Wow, that is a great question. Our website has some great information on that. That I mean, not to plug our own data, but
Yeah, awesome.
but I think our website has some great information, and if someone is looking for more information too, we have a great support team on call at all times. So shoot an email or a text in from our website, and we're happy to direct anybody towards anything else state specific or try to help somebody in any way.
Because I know all these 3-letter.
Oh, they're so confusing.
They're gonna get out of place, and we see it with our company that I work for as well. People are coming to us and they're like, "Wait, I wanted CBD. I was given this," and so we're gonna have to do a little bit of work on putting them in order for everyone and making it digestible.
We've tried really hard to rather than highlighting this is a CBG or a CBC product, this is a focus product.
Okay.
This is a sleep aid. Mm-hmm. This is a euphoric product. So these, as a more of a sativa indica, so on a blend. So when we've got these laid out in a retail, you'll see them from the sleepiest to the most awake product. So you can have your range there.
How does Grön prioritize sustainability and steps that you take to minimize your environmental footprint, or just like what are the things that make your company special? I know you have a lot of like really good things that you guys stand by. So if you want to just talk about that.
What makes us special? Our people. Our people, we make great products, but we make great products because we're a team of great people that are really, really care about what they're making from the top to the bottom. And it's, one of the things we really stand behind is that our products have to taste really good. And they do. People often try it and they're like, wow, that didn't taste like weed. That tasted good. And I'm like, yeah, it's possible. So it's, the flavor profiles of what we've used and everything, the chocolate is delicious. If I told you how many times people are constantly asking us if we could just come out with a candy line, because the candy is just so good. They just want extra candy because they just want to keep eating it. I think flavor profiles, form factor is important, but more than anything, the values, we have 3 primary values here at this company. We win with dignity and grace. And by that, I mean, we are kind and we are good to our partners. Every delivery, everything is an opportunity to be better. We deliver only excellence. I mean that with it must taste good, it must look good, it must feel good. And we embrace transformation. So there is no time to be stagnant. We're constantly transforming and growing. And those are the 3 values that all of our employees really, really hold behind. Now, sustainability wasn't on that as our value. Sustainability is a big component of what we do, particularly coming out of the West Coast and up here in the Pacific Northwest. The majority of our packaging is fully recyclable. All the paper is recycled content. We are looking at ways to, right now, our plastic tubes are able to be recycled, but they are made from, they're not biodegradable. But we are looking at a biodegradable option for those so that we're able to reduce the footprint on that. But we do a carbon offset with all of our plastics. So there is with every product that is purchased from us, there is a carbon offset that is going. That is probably the biggest component of what we're doing. We're a low footprint, unlike a grow where there's a lot of water consumption or electricity consumption. We're a small footprint, so we don't consume a lot of electricity or water or other natural resources. And
I worked at Ben & Jerry's for a few years. That was my first job. They use fair trade certified chocolate. So
Yeah.
do you.
Yes, all of our chocolate is fair trade certified. We were the first fair trade certified cannabis company in the United States by fair trade certified. And gosh, thank you for reminding me of that. Again, it's committing to organic ingredients, organic, fair trade, high quality ingredients, real sugar or real, not real sugar, real fruit, being able to commit to, using products that are not made with child labor. I mean, that's a real thing in chocolate. And, it's, you're not going to ever make something taste better, in my opinion, by putting cannabis in it. So you got your best shot at starting out with really good ingredients and then offsetting them to counteract the bitterness that comes with cannabis. So it's the commitment to just, and I say it's the commitment to excellence and doing things with dignity and grace, and that's all really important components.
Thank you so much. Yes, you feel good. They taste good. Everything's amazing. How do you guys give back to the local community?
Yeah, as the company, and I say that as we embrace transformation, one of our, big annual goals this year is to create really a true CSR program internally, a corporate responsibility program where we're targeting all of our states in ways. So we've laid out a whole platform for our employees to be able to give back on the company dollars. So we're doing a variety of things in different markets right now, that's very localized. We focus heavily on supporting marginalized communities, which are a big portion of our employee basis, as well as giving back, particularly to women organizations and different food related organizations. So food banks, we volunteer, and it's a lot of volunteering and then providing aid. We've worked really heavily with the Joy Bus in Arizona and just love them. They have an organization that provides meals for cancer patients that don't have the ability. So it's made meals that are then delivered to them, so they get the human component. Just a beautiful organization. So, but again, right now we don't have something that is a national platform that we're able to do that across all of our states, but that is in our annual goals this year. So we're really proud to be able to do that.
Hell yeah. And I saw that you do a bud tender ball.
Yeah.
In every state, or did you just start that in Oregon? Are you going to expand it?
Every state gets them. They are so fun, and that came about because we were thinking, I guess it was like a couple of years ago. There's a lot, it's how do you educate bud tenders so that they've got the information on your products in a way to be able to sell them. And, the traditional way that it started was, well, you go in and you bring pizza and you sit in the back room and you do a PowerPoint presentation. And you give them a sample, right? So that's one way of doing it. And then all these online platforms came on, where it's like, okay, well, we'll do a digital thing, and people will take a test and they'll watch a video, and then they win points, and maybe they'll get product and a T-shirt and a swag some other way. And we looked at all these things, we're like, it's just not. There's no celebration of these frontline workers, and they deserve to be celebrated. They not just taught. We're not just selling something. We want to embrace them and share our culture so they're able to really understand who we are. It's the localized piece of this. And so we kind of started testing the waters with throwing parties for them. And then we coined them bud tender balls. And so we do them. Sometimes we do them with other brands and retailers, and we bring it in. It's almost like a festival. And sometimes they're just localized, just with us. And we do them a few times a year in every market, and they're open to all of our retailers, bud tenders. So we'll send out invitations, and we provide drinks and food and lots of swag and samples and the ability to talk to us. So we basically have a genius bar, kind of like the Apple. So we'll have people so they can go up and they can ask questions literally with the product and then really embrace the culture. I try to go to as many of them as I can so I can speak to these people and be able to let them see the founder. And our leadership is there. Again, when I come back to what is making this company successful, it is our true commitment from the boots on the ground, and it's guerrilla warfare on how we're out there touching things. This industry is giant, but it's still very localized, and it still needs a lot of touch. And people want to be touched, and they want to be heard. And we get great feedback of what consumers are looking for, what budtenders are looking for. We found it very successful.
Yeah, I really admire how engaged you are and how, like you said, you try to go to everything and you're putting yourself out there and you're engaging with everyone. It's very important. So
Yeah,
amazing. Can you share any sneak peeks or upcoming collaborations that Grön has in store for your fan base?
Oh, well, I could tell you we have a whole bunch of fun things in the works. So I can't give too much away. The 10-to-1 just came out. We do have some other fun. I know we have at least one more new release that will be coming out this year. Potentially some new flavor drops here coming out in the Mega, which will be exciting. And then some other new flavors and another ratio that is coming out this year. So no new form factors as of yet. But some new ratios and new flavors of products are coming.
Cool. Talking about creativity, because you are an architect, how does cannabis influence your creative process in product development or business strategy? How does creativity play a role in Grön?
I'm a creative at heart. I'm constantly creating things. I spend a lot, even when we were coming up with this 10-to-1, I was playing with it in my home kitchen at home, just on the spare time. I love making things. I'm a maker at heart, and cannabis is able, I don't know exactly how to describe it, but I think this is pretty common that, we're so locked in what we're doing every day that it's easy for our brains to kind of get stuck in the box. And cannabis kind of just opens the windows of your box and lets the air come in. And so you're able to, when I use I use a 10-to-1 to sleep. If I'm looking to be creative, I'm going to use more of a Tangelo or a blueberry or a hybrid. And I'm actually going to take it and I'm going to, sit and just kind of relax and let my mind wander. And it's that wander, that journey. And I say it's like the wind blowing through your box and in your house where you're just kind of there and your mind is able to float. And you can be creative in ways that you weren't really able to see because your box was fully closed. And so I think it's such a great tool for creative exploration. Huge fan.
Thank you. Do you have a favorite architect?
Oh, gosh, a favorite architect. I've had so many over the years. I'll tell you, and I was just in Finland lately. I'm a huge fan of Oliver Aalto, who's a Finnish architect. I love Scandinavian architecture. I love Scandinavian design. It's very clean. It's based in nature, and with simplicity and purity, which I hope our brand, while it's not a Scandinavian company, I hope our brand still has some resemblance to.
Cool, thank you. I grew up in Palm Springs, so we're all about mid-century modern architecture there. So I'm always curious. And as I get older and when I'm high, also I definitely appreciate the beauty of buildings. So thank you for that.
I love that. That's a great question. I don't think anybody's ever asked me that, and I love that.
Cool. What excites you most about the future of Grön and the industry, and what are any of your big visions that you have for your company?
I think right now it's really inspiring to see so much momentum in the industry. It's been a hard few years for the industry, and I think there's a lot of people that just felt really tired. We pushed through. I'd say the hard years on are we going to make it for us were back in 2018-19. We invested heavily in CBD, and that really didn't pan out for us. So it took some time to course correct. But I'm super excited to see where the East Coast goes. We're really inspired by the progress. I'm so excited to see the industry start to mature, and where brands are being recognized. I still don't think we're there, but I think we're a lot closer than we were. And I think, in our category for edibles, particularly, I think we're going to see brands start to stick with consumers in our category before we see it in others. It's probably because the human American brain is programmed with brands and food and alcohol, and so we're just naturally predisposed to that. Yeah, but I'm really excited to see how that progresses with a CPG, consumer packaged good category, and also how our brand is going to be able to transcend and continue to accelerate.
Yay! Would you like to give anyone on your team or anyone in the industry a shout out?
Oh, I would give everyone at Grön a shout out right now, and I say that not because there's so much of me at the head that's out here speaking, but there's a whole team of people that are behind this making it happen, and I'm just so honored to get to be part of this with them. I think gosh, that's like that Emmy question. You can't leave anybody out.
Well, my last question is, what women inspire you? If you want to say that, or you can say, what does it mean to you to be a higher woman?
What woman inspires me the most is my daughter. She is 20 years old, and to watch her in this next generation come up and embrace cannabis in a way of life that is, she doesn't drink alcohol. She doesn't consume cannabis a lot. She's a college student, but I think it's really inspiring to see this next generation of women coming up, and I'm just really inspired to support women. Nothing makes me want to work harder than to show her what she's capable of.
Yay. I'm so excited to hear that. You must be so proud of her and your company. And thank you so much for being our guest today. May 1st, Mother's Day month. So I hope you have a beautiful Mother's Day when it comes up. Anything you would like to leave us with? Where can we follow you?
Oh my gosh. Well, you can follow Grön on Instagram. I think I'm on Instagram too, but I have to admit I'm being my age dates me with my social media exposure, but you're welcome to follow me, Christine Smith Grön, Grön on Instagram. And the company, you can follow us on all the social channels, and we're always posting new fun things that we're at, and reach out to the company through whatever media forms. We're on all of them, and happy to answer any questions, and would love to meet everybody at whatever events. We're just love to meet all the great people in the industry. So proud to be part of it.
Thank you again. Make sure to tap in with Christine Smith at Eat Grön on socials. Tap in the respectmyregion.usa, respectmyregion.com. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe, comment to this video, and have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.